Corfu is a stunning holiday destination, but that doesn't mean that there aren't some less appealing spots on the island. If you're wondering which beaches in Corfu should be on your do not visit list, we've got you covered. Hey guys, it's Em from Global Travel Itineraries, and in this video we're going to be discussing the 6 worst beaches in Corfu. No, that doesn't mean that these beaches are all categorically awful, but simply that they get quite a few complaints from visitors and have several setbacks that make them less desirable than Corfu's other beaches on the whole. So without further ado, these are the 6 beaches that we don't recommend visiting on your next holiday to Corfu. Number 1, Ipsos Beach. First on the list is Ipsos Beach, which you'll find on the island's east coast, not too far from Corfu town. While it has its fans, this beach is often overcrowded, especially with young people looking for a party vibe, making it less ideal for families or anyone looking to relax. The beach is narrow, lined with bars and clubs that play loud music all day and especially towards the night, which can get a bit tiring if you're after some peace. We've also read complaints about traffic noise from the nearby road and the litter that piles up, especially after a big night out, leaving the water less inviting than it should be. Number 2, Cabos Beach. Next, we've got Cabos Beach, down on the southern tip of Corfu. The sea here has lovely, inviting blue water, but it's the vibe of the place that we want to talk about. Cabos is notorious for being a party destination, and while that might appeal to you, there's a good chance that it doesn't. The beach is often overcrowded, with some beds packed tightly together, and honestly, it just feels a bit run down. We've seen complaints about how dirty the beach can get, with rubbish often left behind by partygoers, along with quite a bit of smelly seaweed. If you're looking for a relaxing atmosphere and not a beach club vibe, Cabos isn't the place to go. Number 3, Sadari Beach. Let's talk about Sadari Beach on the northern coast of Corfu. While Sadari is famous for its nearby Canal d'Amor, the main beach is a bit meh. The beach is narrow with coarse sand that isn't very comfortable, and during peak season it gets packed with tourists, making it hard to find a good spot. We've read complaints about the murky water, especially after a busy day when the sand gets stirred up by all the swimmers. The beach also feels overly commercialised due to the proximity of nearby resorts and restaurants, and lots of people have complained about the noise and overall lack of Greek charm compared to Corfu's more picturesque beaches. Number 4, Dacia Beach. Moving on to Dacia Beach on the island's eastern side, which is easy to access, but we've read reviews from people who struggled with the sunbed situation. Most of the sunbeds are owned by the hotels lining the road behind the beach, and those that aren't are very expensive. We're talking upwards of €30 per pair. The sand, which you'll probably end up sitting on, is more like a mix of pebbles and dirt, and the water, although generally calm, isn't lovely and clear like some of the other spots in Corfu. Dacia is often crowded with resort guests, which means it can feel packed and lacking in personality, and it's another place that it's a bit run down. Plus, the beach area can sometimes be cluttered with seaweed, and while this is nobody's fault, it doesn't exactly add much to the appeal. It's a practical choice if you're staying nearby, but not exactly the kind of beach that makes you feel in love with Corfu. Number 5, Hermones Beach. You know we often include a slightly controversial mention in these videos, and in this case we're talking about Hermones Beach on the western side of Corfu. There's no denying that this is a scenic spot, and many people appreciate it for its more remote feel, thanks to the surrounding high cliffs. But the beach can feel cramped due to its relatively small size, especially during peak season when the limited space gets packed with sunbeds and umbrellas. The area has a couple of resorts, so it's not exactly a quiet escape, and some visitors have noted that the nearby facilities feel outdated and overpriced. With that said, this is one beach that we wouldn't rule out entirely. It's just good to know what you're in for before you visit. Number 6, Astra Kerry Beach. Astracae Beach on the northern coast of Corfu tends to underwhelm visitors compared to other beaches on the island. It's a quiet, narrow stretch of sand that can feel a bit neglected. While it's never crowded, that's partly because there's not much to draw people in. The beach is mostly coarse sand mixed with pebbles, and while the views are nice enough, the problem is with rubbish and seaweed build-up on the shore. There also aren't many facilities nearby, so if you're planning to stay for a while, you'll need to bring your own food and drinks. The overall vibe is calm, but it's more functional than scenic, making it easy to skip in favour of better spots nearby. So there we are, 6 of the worst beaches that, for one reason or another, we wouldn't recommend visiting in Corfu. To reiterate, none of these beaches are absolute no-goes, but there are plenty of better alternatives that we'd recommend visiting instead. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy helpful travel content like this. And if you're planning on coming to Corfu, check out our pre-made travel itineraries, which you can download in PDF format from our website globaltravelitineraries.com.